For those unaware, the original sunroof motor on the Red 124 project basically grenaded when I tried to install a sunroof for the first time. The excess cable exploded off the guide tube at the back of the sunroof motor. Unfortunately, it's all plastic, so that's a terminal condition. I can't repair that. I thought I had myself a good second-hand sunroof motor, but the bad news is it's also a pile of junk as well. It does work, but as it warms up, it produces less and less torque, and the sunroof basically doesn't even move after the first few operations. So this is just me getting the cable out of the original motor, and in the process of removing that original sunroof motor, the antenna does have to come out. This is quite abbreviated. There's no point really showing all of the steps. It's not rocket science. So once that antenna is out of the way, it's simply a case of disconnecting one electrical connector and unscrewing two bolts. And the sunroof motor is pretty much ready to come out as long as the cable has been disengaged. The upper guide tube just clicks out of the housing. Fortunately, that side is metal. I don't know why they didn't make both sides metal. Would have made this job unnecessary. This is the back side of the motor here, all plastic, and that's where it's exploded out. So this is the replacement motor fitted from a 1986 donor car with no load applied. It seems to move pretty well. Unfortunately, that's not good enough. So this is just feeding in the cable again. Once you have fed that in, you can operate the switch to pull it in the rest of the way. That wasn't all the way in, unfortunately. Now it's all the way in, so the motor can pull it in. And the next step was to find the stop position of the motor, because with these tilting sunroofs, it actually stops in a midway position with the lid flush with the surface of the roof, and then it can continue using another switch command to lift the rear of the lid. So I'm just finding that stop position now, and once I have found that, I can disengage the micro switch cam inside the motor by simply popping out the white knob. So that's the white knob for disengaging the stop position camshaft. Now I'm free to operate the motor without having any stop positions. So the stop position is currently paused, and I'm just reattaching the cable to the already closed sunroof lid. It's in the position where it stops normally, so all I have to do is screw it in now and re-engage that cam in the motor. And now I just re-engage that stop position cam, and if this was a good motor, that would be pretty much the end of the job. I'd go ahead and reinstall the lining. You can already see this motor starts to struggle. It can barely go back. I didn't show it in the video, but if you try to go all the way back, it basically stalls halfway. and it can barely lift in the upright position once the motor has warmed up as well. And this is just the reconnection of that excess guide tube at the rear. It is possible to refit once the cable has already started protruding. There's only a short tail coming out once the sunroof is closed anyway. And that is pretty much job done, but I am going to take this motor out again because I'm not happy with it. I need to find a better one. I'm not going to tolerate a barely functional sunroof, and if I try and put the interior trim, it just makes matters even worse. It doesn't move at all then, so complete and utter waste of time. This has to come out again. Maybe I'll just put up with the original one because at least it works.